Like any discipline, even in psychology, the various theories about why people behave and how people behave in certain manners exist. All these psychological theories are broadly classified into three major groups. We will look right now at each of those three major groups very briefly to take an overview, and then later on we will go into each group in more detail. The first type is behaviorist theories. They come from behaviors that people exhibit or show. And these behaviors that people show have given rise to the science of behaviorism and a number of behaviorist theories. These behaviorist theories focus on stimuli, response, and reinforcers. Three key things of any behaviorist theory. There has to be some external or internal stimuli that makes an individual behave in a certain manner. Without this external or internal initiation, no response will be shown. If we want individuals to behave in a certain manner, something has to prompt that manner of behavior or response. And that something is called stimuli. When an individual is exposed to a stimuli, then there will be a response. It could be a good response, it could be a not so good response. So responses based on various stimuli can be positive or negative, depending on how the individual perceives the stimulus. The stimulus may excite an individual, may make the individual happy, may put the individual to shame, may embarrass the individual, and therefore responses are dependent on what the stimuli does, how the individual perceives the stimuli. The same stimuli in 2, 3, 4 different individuals may provoke different responses. It may provoke similar responses, but it could also provoke different responses based on the individual's perception of the stimuli. Now, there is a stimuli, there is a stimulus, there is a response. The response, if we want that good response to continue, we will have to make sure that we reinforce, and that is why we need reinforcers. Reinforcers are things that will enable the individual to give the same good or positive response to a particular stimulus or a number of particular stimuli. Now, we hope that a good stimulus will generate a good response. We would not like negative or the not so good responses to continue. We would like those to stop, and we will see later how you can stop them. But the good responses need reinforcers. You will have to reinforce. You will have to continue to let the individual know and understand that this stimulus will keep coming, and we want the good responses that the individual shows because we are willing to use the number of different reinforcers appropriately and relevantly in our classrooms with our students. Behaviorist theories study conditioning, modifying or shaping behavior. So basically, three things can happen to anyone's behavior. Behavior can be conditioned, which means it can be learned. You learn appropriate behavior through the use of reinforcers that help you give the same good response. The second thing that can happen is behavior can be modified. In other words, if the behavior is inappropriate or a behavior that we don't want, we can help the child modify his behavior and learn the appropriate, correct, relevant behavior that we want in our classrooms from all students. The third thing is shaping. Nothing in life changes overnight. Nothing in life changes suddenly. So for a change to happen from a not so good behavior to an appropriate behavior, shaping comes into force. So from 20%, a child may move up to 40%, 50%, 80%, eventually 100% good behavior. So appropriate behaviors can be shaped, modified, or conditioned. And it works for any student at any time.